Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. This is a bit of a departure because it's not a folding knife. This is the Esee Izula, which is of course a fixed blade. Izula is the name of this Brazilian ant that is large and tough and mean that the knife is named after. And you know, the idea that you could have a knife that's small but effective is kind of what they're picking up from that ant there that is small but effective. Now, by the way, the Izula is large for an ant, but the Esee Izula knife is small for a knife, so that's okay. Anyway, getting down to some of the stuff you want to know about this knife is, of course, a fixed blade. It's 1095 high carbon steel. Overall, the knife is 6¼ inches with just under a 3-inch blade and just over a 3-inch handle. When you add the sheath, the overall dimension becomes 7 inches. And the weight on this, as seen here with the sheath, with the paracord wrap and everything else, is about 3 ounces. Of course, it's going to depend on how much paracord you wrap. And so, 3 ounces, give or take a little bit. The knife, when it's naked without any paracord, is 1.9 ounces and the sheath is 0.7 ounces. As you can see, I've done my own little modification there, and I'll talk about that in a second. So that kind of gives you what you're dealing with for size and weight, and I hope that reveals something to you. By the time you have all this together, you're looking at 3 inches and not a very big package. This knife, although it's a fixed blade, I would suggest you can be carried every bit as easily as a folding knife. That makes it a legitimate option for an everyday carry knife, and it's one of the reasons I'm doing this video. I may eventually do some larger fixed blade videos. I have a Schrade SCH9 that I really like and use a lot, so I may do a video about it, but it's not the main thrust of the channel, and so for now we'll just add the Izula as a really nice fixed blade that is small enough and light enough that you could definitely carry it every day. Now that brings me to the main consideration that we have for a knife we're going to carry with us all the time, is how easy is this thing to carry? Well, there are a number of carry options for this that I think would allow it to function in that EDC role. Obvious one is this nice big hole in the sheath allows you to put a piece of whatever you want through here and carry it around your neck as a neck knife. A lot of people do that. It's one of the uses that they list on most websites. I tried it, and I only tried it for a short time because I right away realized I did not like it. I don't normally have anything around my neck, and so maybe that was the reason. I don't know, but I just found it really uncomfortable. Got even worse once I added the paracord wrap to the handle, which added a bit of weight. Then there was just no way I was going to carry this around my neck on a regular basis. So I started carrying it in some different ways, and I'm going to share with you. I'm going to have to stand up so you can see my pocket here, but I'm going to share with you some of the ways that I regularly carry this knife because I think it actually is pretty effective in this role. First is you can, let me see if I can get positioned here so you can see my pocket. There we go. You can just drop it in your pocket, and there you go. It carries around like that pretty easily. I've got my keys and stuff in this pocket as well, and you can see the knife fits fine. And just to demonstrate, I can still get my keys out without any difficulty, put them back in without any difficulty, even though the knife is in there. Then I can still get the knife out. So even just carrying it in your pocket is a completely legitimate option. However, as you can see, I've done this little modification, and I prefer to carry this knife clipped onto either my belt or my pocket or inside the back of my jeans. And so, imagine that this was my top of my jeans instead. I'll carry it just like this, clip it on the back and have it like that. You can do the same thing. I like to carry it with a lot of my jeans in the little knife pocket. I find that's a really good position, really comfortable. Or if you're wearing a belt, it clips on the belt pretty easily as well. And this clip was one I just robbed from I just took off of a tape measure. And so you can see all of those methods work really well. I will say about some of them, you may want to pay a little bit of attention. If you're in an area that says you cannot carry a knife concealed, then pay attention to that. Make sure that however you're carrying it, I'm thinking, if I tuck this into the back of my jeans, or whatever pants I've got on, and then pull my shirt down so it's all covered, now it's a concealed weapon, or could be considered one. Same thing with my belt. So when I carry this, I either put it in my pocket the way I showed you with the handle sticking up. Everyone can see there's a handle there. This handle is not in any way like scary, or it's not going to intimidate anyone. So I feel pretty comfortable doing that. Same with putting it in my pocket, or same with putting it in my knife pocket that way. If I put it on my belt, I do it with my shirt tucked in so that it's no hiding anything. This is what it is. Now, if you want it to be a little less noticeable, the obvious solution would be to put some black spray paint on the clip, which could be easily done. I've got some metal paint at home, and I think I may actually do that. However, even if you don't have this, by the way, I should add, Esee sells some accessories for this. They sell some micarta scales. They sell like a kit that gives you more carry options, more clip attachments and stuff. There are some holes and stuff here that could be used for, mollywebbing on a backpack or any number of different things. And I've carried this as a backpack knife as well quite often. So the Esee Izula, let's get into, take the sheath off. We've gone through a number of different carry methods, and I hope I've demonstrated to you that you could definitely EDC this knife. It's every bit as convenient as any of the folding knives that I have. Now let's get into the knife itself. It is a drop point blade, full flat ground with this green coating. The coating comes in a bunch of different colors. I like the green just because, one, it's different, and two, it's going to stand out if I drop it or misplace it, especially in an outdoor application in the woods or camping or whatever. So I went with the green. Now, I could have added to that effect by doing like orange paracord, but I just have a lot of this green, so I use it for everything. I'm not going to go buy more paracord until I need to, and I have like a few hundred feet of the green, so I'm not going to be buying any new anytime soon. The paracord wrap, I guess there is jimping on here, and it is 1095 high carbon steel, so it's not stainless. Keep it out of the water, keep it dry. The paracord wrap makes the handle much more comfortable. When I first got this, I could tell pretty much immediately that I didn't want to carry this without paracord wrap. So only after a couple days, I wanted to try it out, just out of curiosity, but after a couple days I put paracord wrap on it, and I've left it that way ever since. The handle is comfortable, and I've done some fairly hard cutting. Now, the one thing that you often hear in discussions of this blade, that it doesn't slice through some material very well, and probably that's an effect of the thickness. This is a pretty thick blade, and so you need to know you're going to push that apart. I've cut a bunch of stuff with though cardboard and wood and various things, and I've never had an issue. Also, you should know that the coating is kind of rough, and again, it's been suggested by some reviewers that that'll make it hard to push the material. I haven't experienced that in my own use, but maybe I'm just, not, I'm just kind of pushing through and not, I'm like, seems same to me. So as they say, no sense, no feeling, right? But I haven't found that to be a big issue. So I think this is overall a really good knife. It has performed very well in all kinds of different applications for me, everything from opening mail to trimming a branch off a tree to cutting up cardboard to cutting up some fruit and vegetables for lunch or snack or whatever. I haven't had any issues with this blade, and in fact I could say I highly recommend it for pretty much any EDC task, plus a lot of hard use outdoor survival tasks. I feel like this is a really good knife in a lot of different roles. There you go. That's my take on the Esee Izula. I hope you like it. I hope that if you're a person who just doesn't feel all that inclined toward folding knives, that this might be a knife that you would consider. I think there's no good reason why you couldn't EDC this knife. It's very comfortable, very light, and of course not, it almost looks cute really for a knife. So in no way is this intimidating or going to be troublesome to anyone you may come in contact with that is kind of nervous around knives. Great EDC knife. A little expensive here in Canada, I will say, like $100. I hate to do this, but if you're going to buy this knife, buy it from the US. Either buy it when you're traveling in the US or from a US supplier. They're like $45 in the States compared to $105 here, which I think is completely outlandish. Anyway, there you go. Esee Izula, nice knife. a little different review for this than we're used to with normally talking about folding knives, but I'm quite impressed with this particular blade. That's my take on the Esee Izula. Hope you like it. Talk to you later, YouTube.